Hey guys, what's up? This is an impromptu live panel. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about an email I got not too long ago, and some things that I think that we should do because fuck furry potato. So to kind of add some more information to the very short video that we put out earlier, Tuesday night we go live for the normal Tuesday night trash talk thing that we do. And we obviously played a couple videos, or clips rather, from Furry and critique them like we usually do. That's covered under fair use, right? We didn't just rip anyone's videos and repost them as our own. And early Wednesday morning, I get a notification from YouTube that Furry Potato has tried and failed to give us a copyright strike. And after Furry Potato failed giving us a copyright strike, she can't just accept that they called her out on her bullshit. So she goes a step further and makes up a bunch of fucking bullshit that isn't happening. Like, we're suggesting violence on her and all this shit. Obviously, we've never talked about hitting somebody in the head with a fucking baseball bat or knocking the few teeth remaining that they have out of their heads. Like, that literally never happened. But it's the way that she's trying to weasel around the fact that the copyright claim was fraudulent and abusive. So come to find out from some of our subscribers, we are getting more information in literally by the minute at this point. Zoe's been going around striking people's videos that have absolutely nothing to do with her whatsoever. One guy in Discord had said that he had a video, like a calculator reconstruction for copyright. Obviously to try to get personal information about our subscribers and anyone who has negatively commented about her. So this is a flagrant abuse of the DMCA system. And this is a flagrant violation of YouTube's TOS regarding the copyright takedown abuse. So I did just get an email from YouTube back not that long ago, and they are looking into this situation. I forwarded several of these frivolous claims over to YouTube, and they are investigating it because I know that Zoe has taken down channels in the past with these tactics, and it's complete bullshit. It's not what copyright law or the DMCA system was set up to handle, and you cannot use it as a tool to try to silence detractors. So Taco, what's up? I see you just joined.
Yeah, I thought I'd join.
Yeah, no, this has been an eventful day. Absolutely. If it was a legitimate copyright claim, okay, fine, then you would have had us. But like, we don't do that. Copyright law is important. We respect copyright law. We're not going to steal other people's intellectual property and pass it off as our own. We always alter videos and add commentaries. That's what we do. So that being said, I also got some emails in from some people that were concerned about, Furry continuing to harass businesses, right? Just private businesses, people on the street, people at home eating dinner or whatever, and YouTube obviously is allowing this on the platform. Oh, shit.
Okay, appears we lost Kate. Pat, you here? All right, well, Kate's gone, it appears Brian and News New England crowd have also been talking about us with the whole furry potato thing and how furry's going to destroy us and everything else. I'm sure Kate's going to talk about that when she gets back, or if she knows about that. Pat, be great if you were talking as well. Son and Dance Taco, yeah. In other news, I did my first live stream today. Went great. Thank you to Jimmy and Glitter for helping that out. Supposedly Josh has court tomorrow. And I'm sorry, guys, about this. I don't know what much to talk about.
I'm back. What happened?
Kate dropped, and so I've been kind of chatting to the group about nothing. Apparently, News New England is mirroring us and mocking me. So, hi, Brian. How are you doing? It's great to see that you're riding Furry's coattails on this battle. It's funny that, you're upset that since you're listening to this, you're upset when we talk about you guys. Then when we stop talking about you guys, you get upset then too. So please make up your mind of when you're not going to get upset with us. Thank you. And by the way, hi, Polly. You missed my live stream today. Got anything to add, Pat?
I'm just booting up my computer. I gotta switch over. I'm on my iPad right now. Let's see if Kate is trying to get back in.
Kate. Yeah. Oh, there's Kate.
It's a deficit, so yeah, I'm home from work. I just cut me off mid with the box. I don't even remember.
You're kind of breaking up there.
Hold on. Perhaps this will be better. I'm on 495 in Massachusetts. Notoriously bad cell service.
You're good now.
Yeah. Which, speaking of work, this is an interesting comment that I saw one of the Tater Tots feed, which is that we're out of our league and Furry will just come to our jobs and get us fired. Presumably, like was done to CCW, which you can love or hate CCW. That was fucked up, right?
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, like you don't take them as income. And when it comes to that, there's no equal response because Furry doesn't have a job. So it's not like, oh, I'll just go after yours too. Not that I would. But, like there's, people that don't have jobs are threatening to mess with people that do. That's crazy.
By the way, Kate, apparently News New England is mirroring us and mocking us. Well, he was
That's
mocking
okay.
me because
he needs the views. That's what it is because, he's failing otherwise. Speaking of News New England, did you guys see that the mysterious foreign bomber this entire time has been his buddy Josh Abrams? That's something worth mocking.
I'm sure he doesn't care.
Literally. Oh, God.
I just think it's funny that he gets upset when we talk about him, and then now he's upset that we're not talking about him. So I would like him to make up his mind. And I think we lost Kate again.
I still see her. Can you hear me?
Just can't hear her. I can hear you.
Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah, so apparently the tater tots are coming for us. I'm pretty scared.
Yeah. And they may have strength in numbers, but we have strength in will, and I believe in us as a team. And
Yeah,
Kate's good at what she does.
Furry's too used to getting his way. He just he does this kind of shit to other channels. It gets him taken down, and Kate's not going to back off.
Yep. Yeah. It's just.
You think Brian is standing up for Furry, or just pretty much anything anti-masshole?
Anything anti-masshole.
Yeah.
And the language he was using in his live stream today was just unacceptable.
Sounds like he's either losing his mind or he was on something.
It's just. And every time he talks about Kate, he has to bring up her kids. I'm like, really, dude? Like, that has nothing to do with it.
I'm sure none of his followers called him out on it and told him to lay off.
Yeah. I saw one or two people that were like, Brian, you should never use those words, but that was about it. But he didn't care.
See if I gotta figure out where Kate is.
Kate must be having trouble with her signal on the way home.
I'm only on the StreamYard, so how many people we have watching?
I don't know. I'm on stream. I'm on my mobile, so I don't know.
It's like 156. Anybody want to come up? There's the link. Do you recall any point in that stream the other night that that any of us said anything about bashing Furry with a baseball bat? Did anybody say that?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, it's just trying to make stuff up to try to get it shut down.
I know I didn't, but there was quite a few on the panel.
Somebody's asking for a link. I already put it up. I hope Kate follows through on that. That the fact that he's abusing the system should get him shut down for that.
Yep.
It's always about. Second.
They're saying the link is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how many tater tots are watching right now.
I'm sure there are quite a few, or at least a couple.
There we got Harry Balls.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Okay.
You know, all these people, Brian used to be a decent guy. We've all said that many times until he joined the Josh bandwagon. Anyone that can justify what Furry Potato does to private citizens is absolutely ridiculous. Say what you will about First Amendment auditors. We all have our opinions, love them, hate them, whatever it is. Going after private citizens, private jobs, people's jobs, shit like that is reprehensible. And that's what Masshole is exposing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kate's back. Hi, Kate.
I mean, he's not even remotely trying to do First Amendment. It's just all about harassing and trying to get lawsuits, trying to get people arrested.
You know, and Brian wants to be a piece of shit, and you know, he's 70 years old, acting like a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
I think what Brian is doing is just desperate for some sort of relevance. He hooks up with Abrams. He gets, a page out of the Abrams handbook, which, to his credit, works for Abrams, but it's not going to work for everybody. You have to have a particular personality and skill set that Brian, at 8 million years old, does not have. He just doesn't have it. Not to mention, the guy is a self-proclaimed First Amendment civil rights activist, whatever the fuck he is. He doesn't leave his house. He doesn't leave his fucking house.
Well, exactly. And then he makes a comment that he made Masshole. How the fuck did you make Masshole? These guys were relevant way before your 50 subscribers even joined your fucking channel. So
he's delusional. And I think really, I think we got a good view of it the other night when he was on a panel swigging from that huge bottle of fucking Fireball whiskey till 2 o'clock in the morning, right? This is a guy who is old enough to be my grandfather. It's sad. He obviously has dementia going on. I would say that that's probably indicative of a drinking problem, and explains why he behaves the way that he does, shows up, starts to slur his words, doesn't act like a rational, normal human being. He probably has a drinking problem. So for that, he has my empathy. Is that Ricky Monday with us?
Oh, hi.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
How's everybody doing today?
Pretty good.
It's been a productive day so far.
Awesome. Same thing here. I'm trying to keep the productivity going. Me, Laura Sark, and Tom Zebras up here in Portland, Oregon, been trying to cover the protesters and the police activity, but it's been a big merry-go-round, and I've been paying attention to you guys through somebody that pointed you guys out to me, so I stumbled up on you through someone else, and it's amazing that you guys put these provocateurs on I want to say in their place, but they still can't find their place. We try to help them out, and they don't want to take a helping hand nowhere. I think what I really want to say though is, I've been recording since 2013 with Zebra, and I started out in Venice Beach and recording.
Yeah, we lost him.
It's a bad day for connectivity, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I think we got him back.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
That's fine. You're liable to lose me at any minute too, because my service has been a mess just driving home from work.
Awesome. Well, all I was trying to say is, I started doing this in 2013. My first channel got deleted. I started all over again from scratch. It's been a hell of a workup. It's been a up and down float. But like I was saying, I was directly affected by SGV and Furry Potatoes' direct actions. They literally made a false claim on my PayPal, saying that they bought something from me on. I refunded the money, and ever since that day, I thought that things would work out, and PayPal would recognize the.
You're dropping out.
Yeah. Whatever. It's just a terrible day for fucking, connectivity.
So I haven't been able to access my PayPal as a result of SGV and Furry Potato or whoever in the SGV clan that likes to get their flowers watered every now and then. Yeah, so that's all I want to say. And man, I don't know what's up with these people. They don't know how to make progress. The only thing I see is provoke and harass and nothing productive. So I guess that's about all I have to say. And I'm open to any suggestions, comments. Absolutely, thank you. I'm open to suggestions, comments. I speak my mind openly. I know a lot of people might not agree with some of the things that I say, and
We keep losing them. Yeah, I mean, nobody has to. You have the right to say what you're going to say. I think that it's interesting that this is kind of Furry's go-to tactic, is exploiting these systems, because it is very, very counterintuitive if the ideals that you claim to espouse are, freedom of speech, the First Amendment, accountability, all that good stuff.
Right.
right.
One other thing that we're doing right now is we are going back kind of with a fine-tuned comb and looking at Furry's past videos and identifying as many of the businesses and individuals that she has seen harassing on there as possible, because we will be collecting signed statements from these people about the level of harassment. We also are talking to an attorney right now that may be able to start picking up some likeness law cases pro bono, particularly aimed towards this, provocateur, this frauditor community. So although you can film in public, if you feature someone's likeness in a commercial video without their expressed consent, that's an issue. You're now breaking likeness laws.
Speaking of commercial, whatever happened to Furry Industries? You just took that money and ran with it.
Right.
Well, he raked all these people for all this money. I'd be curious how many subscribers he got, and then defuncts the website.
Right.
So, by the way, sorry I dropped off. I updated my iPhone with a new software. It keeps fucking rebooting.
Yeah, on iOS 14.
Yeah. No,
I just pulled into my driveway. I'm trying to go through these comments. Someone's asking, is there any way we can flag a shit for invoking violence? I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in the flagging system at this point. I think what I've learned over time is that, if something is objectionable enough for it to rise to the level that the consensus agrees it should not be on YouTube, then you need to go to YouTube directly. Doing their flagging system is just a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've reported several direct videos, especially with like Abrams, where he's threatening the cops, threatening people, and you can flag them all you want, and I think it's an algorithm that hits on, and it's not really monitored.
Yeah, and as shitty as it is to watch somebody harass or berate cops or whatever, and I always find it to be objectionable simply because, like, this is a stranger you're yelling at. It's a completely different scenario with Furry, because she encourages the doxing of these people. She reads out their license plate numbers, their addresses. She threatens them. She films their homes, their businesses. Like it's actually closer to harassment than even Abrams, in my opinion.
Oh, I totally agree. I think she's worse than Abrams in many ways, especially when she's out front of people's houses and video them having dinner, and then does a PPA for fucking them standing up for themselves.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were they eating? I'm sorry, man, but furry's behavior is often, aligned with uselessness, and it's signaling out people standing outside of someone's house. That's totally unacceptable. I mean, that
Yeah, Ricky, you keep dropping out, bro.
Yeah,
not sure if
that's
you're
what I'm
driving.
Yeah, you might want to like
say
just
Will,
drop down.
say you will. I think someone mentioned. Yeah, say you will also about CCW. CCW is a fucking psycho, also. But I think you mentioned a minute ago, Kate, about the shit he pulled with the whole fishing charter was absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know that he actually lose his job.
Yeah, he did. He did, unfortunately.
Wow.
And that's, I mean, you don't go after somebody's livelihood like that.
No.
That is some liberal ass bullshit right there.
Right.
I think somebody was reaching out to them to tell them what happened and try to get him his job back, but I guess it didn't work.
I think several people did, and unfortunately, knowing CCW's mentality and his temperament, it probably didn't go well either way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I mean, I can't stress enough that I am not upset with this copyright thing because of our channel directly, because obviously it had absolutely no impact. What I am upset with is that this has been done numerous times by Furry to numerous different channels, some of which she has succeeded in taking down, and it's behavior that is not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. And if you are going to repeatedly just completely flagrantly disregard terms of service on the platform that you are using to broadcast yourself harassing people, then at some point there is a day of retribution.
It's a point where you harass other people that have PTSD and been through other situations in life where, certain actions are totally unacceptable to that person, and that person only knows, how to address that with, physical resolutions. And, and it's not about, oh, I'm better or tougher than you. It's about, it's absolutely unacceptable in my eyes to be disrespected by someone that's way stepping out of line, that wants to sit down and take a piss when they should be standing up to take a piss. And there's a big difference in a man right there.
Yeah.
I don't get into Furry's gender identity or identity politics or anything like that, because that's, that is
not attacking
here nor there to me.
Identity or anything like that. I'm attacking directly her behavior or his behavior, and how he goes about approaching things and tries to perpetrate in one identity, but then turns around and tries to say, "Oh, I'm a girl. You can't hit me."
Everyone knows he uses it for his advantage, and people can keep mentioning in the comments that he was in the military. That's awesome. Thank you for your service. Doesn't give you permission to be a dick the rest of your life. Many people have served in the military. It doesn't give you carte blanche to fuck with people just because you're in the military.
Right.
Exactly. And confusion goes with safety. And the military, and being confused within the military confinements within that kind of
I don't know.
Within that kind of environment has no belonging, because it has no place. It has no place, because when you're out there on the battlefield, they don't have time to be stressing to worry about their comrades might have a physical breakdown and they might lose their life as a result of someone else's actions.
I don't feel comfortable with like the transphobic stuff. That's all.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
neither here really.
Yeah, Jennison's mentions that, and no one from Massholes ever, as far as I can tell, ever said anything derogatory about him being a man, a woman, whatever it is.
It's none of my business. Yeah, that's none of my business.
I agree.
everything that Kate and Mitch and everyone else is focused on, I'm not even Mitch, I shouldn't say Mitch, the rest of Massill's reported on, has been his behavior towards people. And like I said,
Right.
that's what needs to be addressed. Everything else is chatter. It doesn't matter what he does in his personal life.
Right. Understood. Understood. And it was nice talking to you guys. I appreciate you guys covering the frauditors and putting them in the, letting everybody know this, the real story about what they're doing.
No problem, Ricky. Thank you,
Yeah,
buddy.
thanks for coming on.
Thank you guys for allowing me on your channel, and best respect to you guys. And I did go through there and watch a lot of you guys' video, and I noticed that you never ever had anything negative to say about me, and I really appreciate that. Thank you guys.
No problem, buddy.
You guys have a beautiful day.
You too, bro.
Bye-bye.
In Genesis, I think we all agree with you, especially with Massill's report. I'm not saying I'm associated with Massill's report. I talk to them offline quite a bit. That's it. No one's making transphobic comments about Furry. Everything that they're talking about right now is addressing his behavior. That's what it's all about.
Right. Yeah. Well, I just, those things are easy to get caught up in, and it's very incendiary, and people feel one of two ways about it, generally, very strongly. You know what I mean? We're not here to pander identity politics one way or the other. That's just not our place. And it's really not my business. So, I mean, my focus generally is, like, what impact does this individual, through the platform of YouTube, have on the rest of us as a society? And whether, Furry comes out in a dress or not, or, whether it's a he or she, pronoun, doesn't really impact the rest of us. It's a personal thing that I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to look at it. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's entirely possible that maybe Furry is pandering to some identity politics for lawsuit purposes or whatever else. But that's really not my business either. So I'm not devaluing those points in the comments. I see them, I hear them, I understand where you're coming from. I just, again, not my place. Because we could split hairs on that all day long. I don't really give a shit. I just don't.
At what point did Furry stop holding government and police accountable and start with this whole thing of harassing churches and private businesses and everything? Right.
It seems to be like it's becoming a sort of like a model for other people.
Hey, what's happening all?
The one thing I'll say.
Hey, we're kicking you out.
I clicked on that by accident. Sorry.
Get the fuck out of here! Cloud chasing. Jesus Christ.
Good afternoon, Kate.
Grandpa.
The one thing I'll say was I actually thought that Furry's costume yesterday was pretty funny. The bee costume was kind of cute.
My frustration with Furry is that she claims that she's female, but she acts very much like a man when she's threatening to fight people and trying to provoke them. It's very masculine in behavior.
Yeah,
He acts masculine when it suits him, and then when it suits him to be female, he acts female.
Exactly.
The narrative he's trying to get across.
Exactly. Being transgender is not about that.
Right.
No, I don't think Massill's ever jumps on that bandwagon. Like I said several times already, I don't give a fuck what he identifies as. That's his personal life. Don't treat people the way you do and go after private sectors. I don't agree with First Amendment auditors. Many of us don't agree with their tactics. But it's even worse when you go after civilians and civilian businesses for no reason.
I agree with the basics of the First Amendment. They are important.
No one doubts that, and no one's.
But yeah, these guys are not exercising their rights. They're weaponizing their rights.
They're not even weaponizing it. They're doing more harm than good, and that's been proven in several jurisdictions where they start passing stupid laws that
like in Tucson.
Right. Show me one First Amendment auditor that actually produced a video that shows an officer being a true tyrant. Because an officer doesn't give you his badge number, makes him a fucking tyrant. Fuck off.
Yeah, no, they're few and far between, and they haven't happened in a fucking long time,
Right.
Someone says let Grandpa on. The truth is that, like, I just am sick of giving Jabba the Gums any sort of platform or attention.
I love that name.
He has nothing worthwhile to say, and every time that he tries to jump on our channel, it brings nothing but chaos and bullshit and leaves me with a headache because, like, his IQ is in the single digits. So.
Well, not only that, but you used to be able to have a conversation with Brian. You used to be able to have a debate with Brian. Now he tries to be an Abrams and fucking control the conversation. And fuck that bullshit.
Yeah, you can't.
Plus, he's on something right now, which just makes it 100 times worse.
Oh yeah, no,
well, yeah. His intro. I did watch his intro. He's like a 15-year-old in a 7-year-old body. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, you know, substance abuse has a devastating effect on people, especially at that age. So, you know, he deserves some compassion in that. I hope that for his family.
Is that the polite way of saying meth's a hell of a drug?
No. I mean, obviously, you know, he talks a lot about taking opiate prescription pills. He's mixing it with alcohol. He's drinking irresponsibly, particularly for his age with a child in the house. Like, you know, and minus the pills, that's a road that I've been down myself. So I have nothing but compassion for it. I really just hope that he, you know.
And Chris, just an FYI, Chris Perrine says the badge number is always on the badge. That's not true. Our badge numbers are on the back of our badges, actually. It's a power trip for them to make them feel like they have something over the cops. It has nothing to do with
it. Yeah, that's the only reason why they do it.
Right.
Yeah. It serves no purpose. Once you have his name tagged, you're good to go.
Oh, someone's Leo here?
Is who here?
Is someone law enforcement here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
I don't think I knew that.
I don't share it with a lot of people. Kate knew. A couple
That's
of guys.
Fine. We.
Like Oak, and a lot of us just don't share the shit automatically, but I think everyone's worked up right now, and they'd like to know how we. I don't want to come across as a one-legged Santa Claus, and without justifying what I'm saying.
One-legged Santa Claus. Never heard that.
I get it.
It's a cruel joke, and I shouldn't say it, but he kind of pisses me off too lately.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, just in general, this whole, I mean, there's just so much absolute ridiculous, ego-driven drama in this quote-unquote community.
Well, it just goes and feeds their narcissism, and it's getting worse and worse. And you know, they're I don't know how to put it. It's asinine is the best way. And like I said, they're acting like 5-year-olds.
And there's no intellect behind any of this anymore. There's not a really good grasp of the law, if there's any grasp of the law at all. There's a lot of misinterpretation, a lot of waxing poetic, you know, emotion-driven, you know, rhetoric that has very little factual basis to back it up. And this is what they do. And if you point that out, then the, you know, go-to response seems to be these frivolous copyright strikes, or, you know, relentless ad hom attacks, or I'm going to send all my followers after you to mass report your stuff. And, like, you know, do it if you want to.
Oh, exactly. You know, is this? I mean, Abrams is a great example, and we've said this many times. He's a professional at controlling the conversation and just yelling over you. He can quote the law all he wants. He doesn't quote it properly by any means. You know, he thinks he knows what he's talking about. He has no idea, especially when he says a cop can't do this. Well, yes, a cop can do this. Then it's up to the jury to decide whether or not it'll stick or not.
Right. Right. Now, I mean, it's just, you know, it's at some point, you know, you have to put your foot down here. And I think, you know, we're getting more aggressive as time goes on, because it's fine to sit and talk about it. But, you know, sometimes, you know, you got to jump into action. And I think one of the best tools moving forward really is, after, you know, I've discussed this with numerous people, you know, looking into avenues for civil litigation when that line is crossed, particularly for the people that it's, you know, that have that line crossed, because there are actual victims in all this, in you know, civilians, business owners, people at home, that are getting victimized by this behavior, and at some point they deserve some recourse.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look how many frivolous PPAs Furry's filed for no reason. And it cracks
Right.
up when and these bitches whine about getting assaulted. They touched your camera because it was in their fucking face. If you're within arm reach of me, you're in my personal space.
They always say
Right.
the camera is an extension of their hand or whatever. Is that true?
It is. I mean, technically by the letter of the law, and that's why the cops arrested that poor girl the other night when Floyd was literally in her face. She barely put her arm out there and was able to grab his camera. And these fuckers go after these poor people who are already mentally unhinged. She was obviously clearly drunk, and Floyd's right in her fucking face. So she overreacted. Not justifying it by any means, but I mean, you weren't assaulted for fuck's sake.
Floyd is that spoopy black guy that was running around in a hoodie in front of the police department.
The
Yep.
hoodie and the mask and
Yeah.
falling in tactical positions and rushing at cops and shit. If I was that officer, and we had this conversation the night, if I was that officer, and I don't care if you're black, white, green, or yellow, you come running at me like that with your hand in your pocket, you're getting tased. Minimum, you're getting tased.
Yeah.
And the only thing that saved him was broad daylight.
Even then, I couldn't believe the cop really didn't do much.
Maybe he knew who he was
Right.
and what he was up to.
Right. And
Yeah, it could be.
And
Yeah.
had he brought something out of his pocket, like a phone or a brush, anything that could even resemble a weapon, he could have easily got lit up, and the cop probably could have been justified.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. So I keep seeing these comments here too, and again, like I hear what you guys are saying. I understand. Like this is a very polarizing issue, the whole transgender thing. But let me play devil's advocate on this and say, what if, in fact, furry does not identify as transgender, or maybe you don't believe there is such a thing, or whatever? In continually discussing the gender identity politics that may or may not come with Zoe Perez, are we not being distracted from the behavior that he, whatever you want to say, is exhibiting, right? So in that case, furry has won, which is why, like, you know, again, I would really, really, really stress to people that, you know, that's a non sequitur. It has nothing to do with the issue at hand. It does not matter if Zoe identifies as a zebra, like, the behavior is still abhorrent either way.
Right, and I think on all the panels you've ever had, and I've ever had the privilege of joining, his sexuality has never once been brought up. It's always been, what the fuck is this idiot doing?
Right.
Well, he uses it to his advantage because he's always trying to get hate crime enhancements every time he gets somebody, private persons, arrested.
Oh, absolutely.
So he's trying to use it in his favor. So it's not completely a non-factor, but I totally understand what Kate's saying, though.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a distraction, and it takes away from really the issue at hand here, which is that this is just not behavior that you should be doing.
Right.
And I mean, we can be this. It's a dead horse. Like I said, we all know it's reprehensible what he's doing, and what most of these idiots are doing. And I think it's. I mean, and you know, Brian and the rest of them call them asshole what they want. I think it's great that they expose these idiots. Same with Degen. Same with Schrodinger's cat. I mean, I think it's great that these people are out there exposing what these morons are doing.
I'm with Genesis. Sorry, I gotta say it. It's not hard to put an S in front of it, but all right, Marky Mark wants to get all these guys off the street. I mean, I think I think rounding them up and arresting them all and incarcerating them is unrealistic, and I don't know if that's the end goal here or not. But I mean, at some point, this behavior has to stop being incentivized. It just has to stop being incentivized. Like, you should not have any motivation to behave this way, and I think the financial motivation is a huge part of it. This is where YouTube bears some responsibility because it's their platform.
Well, exactly, and you know, and they always blame the cop. I can tell you right now, no cop has any problem with anyone videotaping. It's the age of the camera. Cameras are everywhere, whether it's surveillance, people's phones, whatever it is. You want to videotape all day long. Stand back, let them do their job. If you see something inappropriate, fine. You submit that to the police department, internal affairs, whatever it is. But don't insert yourself into a situation you have no control over.
Marty L.S. Marchant says, how about Rami today? Oh my God, guys. Jesus Christ. That guy. You know who Rami is, right? My guy.
No, I've never seen that one.
Okay, so he's a disgraced predator poacher. He was with predator poachers, and then they broke up, and it was messy or whatever. So Rami goes live tonight, and this motherfucker, like, I got jumped and robbed at gunpoint. He can't describe who jumped him, what they looked like, what they were wearing, anything, nothing. But we're supposed to believe that he got jumped and robbed at gunpoint. It's just absolute nonsense.
That's awesome.
Jussie Smollett thing.
Oh.
Hey, NJ.
Oh, hey, NJ.
Good evening. Now, you had mentioned before about submitting a video if you have one of something, and the fact that, yes, this is 1984 by George Orwell. Cameras are everywhere. They are not only on government facilities, they're on private facilities, businesses, private homes have security cameras. You've got the Ring network now on doorbells, which the police have access to via the manufacturer and central station on those.
Is that willing?
That's part of your contract.
Okay. So it's sort of willing.
Yeah, if you want the service, you'll
Okay.
agree to it.
Right.
And the amount of material that is out there, and we see it all the time on the news, on TV. The police have the still photos from a video. They have video of these individuals committing crimes. They want the public's help constantly. There was a TV show on recently called Person of Interest. We are there almost, believe
Oh,
me.
yeah.
And that was the point I was trying to make, NJ. He said, cops don't care about being videotaped. Like I said, it's out there. We know that. It doesn't scare us. But when you're in my face and I'm trying to talk to somebody, do an interview, that's when you cross the line.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that. I totally agree with that. And this 10-foot rule is no rule. It's urban myth. And
No, exactly.
the other side of it is there not only is no set limit, it's basic tolerance of the individual officer. And of course, if someone gets close enough to where they are interfering, yeah, you're going to get hemmed up.
Oh, exactly. And that's the one thing I'll give Indiana credit for. And I love them enforcing that shit with Josh and Chuck Bronson and Floyd and them, that 150-foot rule of incident emergency. It's like, good for you fuckers. Good on you.
Some kind of state legislation.
Sorry, I didn't quite hear you. Where was that ordinance?
Indiana, they've got a emergency incident ordinance. It's been hammering Josh all week that he's been out there, that if the cops are in the middle of something and he walks up, the cops are saying this is an emergency incident scene, back up 150 feet, and they're actually ordering Josh where to go, and it's driving him crazy.
Yeah, I think I saw that recently. Is that state or a local ordinance somewhere?
I'm pretty sure it's state because every department has been using it on him. He's been going to, and there's apparently a lot of little agencies around that area.
What exactly did you call it?
Emergency incident response scene or something like that. It was meant for the fire department when they, I guess, are laying their hoses and stuff. But apparently, the police departments went to the attorney general or their legal counsel, and they said, yes, it does stretch to your scenes as well.
I agree with Bruce, though, that we don't need more laws necessarily. We need better use of the current criminal and especially civil laws. And that's why at this point, I've started to have conversations with some attorneys. And again, if there's any more attorneys out there that want to reach out to us, our idea really is to, kind of create a situation to where with some of these more predatory online activities, we can give the, for lack of a better term, victims some avenue to get some, recourse in civil court. Because honestly, at the end of the day, that's the best way to hit this behavior is right in the wallet.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
And as goofy as it sounds, I used to love watching Judge Judy of all shows. There were several cases that were brought on that show where cops had frivolous complaints brought against them by civilians, and she ruled in favor of the police officers when that was justified several times. I know it's not a real court, but just saying.
Right.
Right. Oh,
Heidi,
man.
if we're so layman, hold on, I was like, Kate, I'm sorry. Heidi, if we're so layman born, one, they've invited you on the panel many times to see why you have such a hard on for them. If you want to come up and talk, come up and talk. No one has a problem with you. They've told you many times, hey, you want to come and talk to us? Talk to us. They don't, I can't say we because I'm not really part of them. They don't stipulate who can come up. If you want to come up and voice your opinion, come up and voice your opinion. But don't be a little bitch and sit there in the comments and make little snide comments and then run away.
I mean, we appreciate your snide comments anyway, I guess. But yeah, no, it's just, it's just at some point your complaints are never going to be rectified. But I mean, as far as Floyd goes, it's debatable whether or not he was talking to anything. Floyd is an idiot. That's fine, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that should be taken advantage of.
Is that the statute you're referring to? It's in the private chat.
I can't see it on my screen. Hold on. Hold on.
I can put it in the YouTube chat if you want as well.
I think that's
Honestly,
the one they've been using.
I think so too. And Jay, I don't know. I can't say for 100% sure. The cops just simply state it's an emergency incident scene, back away 150 feet.
And he doesn't even fight it. He just fouls it, whatever they say on that. So he must know.
And then he bitches about it and blames Chuck Bronson, saying that the cops had it enacted because of Chuck Bronson. The one thing I'll say about Chuck Bronson, and I've never really watched any of his videos, is he does appear to do it the right way. He stands back and does not get involved in the situation. Now, whether it's because Josh is there over controlling everything, I don't know. But I've never heard Chuck Bronson during one of Josh's temper tantrums going off on the cops.
Yeah, I never really hear him say much of anything during those.
Right.
Like you said, he's just standing back and observing like they should be.
Right.
Looks like we got some people in the back there. Morty joined us. Hey guys, it is 6:43. I just had to drop down because I actually have to, feed my family. But Pat has full control over the stream. He can end it whenever, or I'll be back. I'm not sure which. But
no, I'm good. I mean, I just came on because I knew you got dropped off, Kate, and I didn't want to leave poor Taco by himself up there getting hammered, so that's why I jumped up.
I appreciate that. No, I died a little bit. Yeah. Sunday, hopefully we'll have a little bit more information on all this too, as far as, kind of what avenue we're going. And, we're working behind the scenes to kind of formulate sort of, a plan to give people a net to deal with this. Yeah. We don't, thank you, binary tools. Yeah, we don't bully, censor, or block people. Yeah, for the most part. It's not like we never have blocked anyone before, but we try to avoid it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
No, nobody called my work. They could if they really wanted to. It would not go that well. You know what I mean? That was attempted before when I had issue with another YouTube channel, but that didn't work out very well for them at all. And, yeah, which it's just another issue that we'll be discussing down the line too, speaking of, legal avenues and all that stuff. That I believe that there will probably be some fireworks by this weekend, but we'll see what happens with that. Because, I have been working with attorneys at this point.
Yep, just call me now because we got to get.
Yep.
Stuff pretty soon.
I can hear somebody's wife or daughter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back on later on this afternoon.
And we don't want to give Brian more ammunition on you, Kate. What a bad mother you are. So go feed your kids.
All right, sounds good. Take it easy, guys.
See you later, Kate.
Bye.
I'm sure.
Yeah.